Welcome back to Dinar Community Channel. They're not waiting, they're preparing. While the world still debates whether the Iraqi dinar will revalue, IQD millionaires are already taking action, securing their currency, locking in legal protection, building wealth strategies, and planning legacies. In this video, we reveal the 10 powerful moves serious dinar holders are making right now, before the announcement drops and the financial world changes forever. If you hold IQD, this isn't just advice, it's your blueprint. Becoming an IQD millionaire was once viewed by many as nothing more than a speculative dream. But as the world moves through a season of undeniable economic transformation and the Iraqi dinar edges closer to its long-anticipated revaluation, that dream is beginning to feel a lot more real for a growing number of people. Those who have spent years patiently holding dinar are now preparing with intensity, focus, and clarity. They're no longer simply waiting, they're acting. A new wave of action is sweeping across the IQD community, especially among those who hold significant volumes of the currency. These individuals, often referred to as IQD millionaires, are stepping into a crucial moment of alignment, positioning themselves not only to benefit from the revaluation but to thrive in its aftermath. And while the general public may still be skeptical or unaware of what's unfolding, those who have been paying attention are already putting smart strategies into motion. What separates the serious, prepared IQD holder from the rest isn't just how much currency they hold, it's what they're doing with their time before the revaluation hits. The difference between surviving and thriving post-RV comes down to strategic action taken right now. Behind the scenes, IQD millionaires are implementing legal, financial, emotional, and even spiritual preparation strategies to ensure they don't just walk through the exchange doors, but walk out with purpose, protection, and a legacy plan. The first thing many IQD millionaires are doing right now is conducting a full audit of their holdings. They aren't just counting stacks of 25,000 notes, they're verifying the authenticity of every single one. Using UV light detectors, watermark verification, and security thread checks, they are confirming that their currency is legitimate and undamaged. They understand that a torn or questionable note might not be accepted during the exchange process, and they are leaving no room for error. Authenticity is everything in a high-stakes financial event like this. Once verified, they're organizing and storing their notes in secure environments. This often means fireproof safes, locked storage in banks, or hidden compartments in secure locations. These individuals are not treating their holdings like collectibles, they're treating them like the future financial instruments they are. Some have even invested in biometric safes or vault-grade containers. To them, IQD is no longer speculative, it's real, and they're handling it accordingly. In addition to securing the physical currency, IQD millionaires are actively preparing the paper trail that proves how they acquired their holdings. This includes receipts from licensed dealers, certificates of authenticity, and even bank wire receipts from past purchases. They are going through emails, PDF statements, and transaction records to make sure that, when questioned by a bank or auditor, they can show exactly where and how they acquired their currency. Many are also preparing affidavits for gifted or inherited currency to clarify ownership. Another major move being made involves banking relationships. IQD millionaires aren't waiting for banks to publicly advertise their exchange plans, they're already forming relationships with private bankers, foreign currency managers, and wealth advisors inside institutions like Wells Fargo, Chase, and others known to be preparing for currency revaluation events. They understand that when the RV occurs, it's not going to be a mad dash, it's going to be a structured, appointment-only process. Those who are already in the system will be prioritized. Private wealth divisions are being quietly activated to serve high-volume currency holders. IQD millionaires are getting themselves on those internal lists, securing points of contact who will notify them when it's time to move. Some have even opened new accounts specifically designated for their IQD exchange, separate from their daily use banking accounts. They are preparing a clean, traceable environment for funds to land, something many novice holders haven't yet considered. But perhaps the most important thing IQD millionaires are doing right now is assembling their financial dream teams. This includes estate attorneys, tax strategists, wealth managers, and asset protection specialists. These professionals are already working with them to create living trusts, LLCs, family foundations, and donor-advised funds that will receive and manage their new post-RV wealth. They aren't waiting until after the exchange to form these structures, they're doing it now so that the transition is smooth and tax-efficient. They're asking big questions. Should the funds go into a revocable trust? How can I shelter assets from lawsuits or creditors? What's the most advantageous tax jurisdiction for high-volume foreign currency conversions? The answers are being customized and documented by legal professionals who understand complex transactions. IQD Millionaires are treating this like a once-in-a-lifetime liquidity event, and they're not leaving any of it to chance. In terms of financial strategy, many are also diversifying ahead of time. Instead of waiting for a lump sum windfall, they are identifying sectors they plan to invest in: real estate, gold and silver, private equity, blockchain technology, and even humanitarian projects. They're building blueprints, allocating hypothetical percentages, and preparing post-exchange spreadsheets. They're asking themselves, where should the first 10%, 20%, or 50% go? What's my monthly drawdown plan? How will I manage cash flow without blowing through principal? One striking trend among IQD millionaires is their emphasis on discretion. While the internet buzzes with speculation and oversharing, serious holders are operating in silence. They aren't broadcasting their plans or flashing screenshots. They're removing identifying information from documents, practicing digital security, and keeping their inner circles small and trustworthy. Privacy is being treated as a currency in itself. Some have even implemented NDAs within their households, especially among children or extended family members. They're not doing this to create paranoia but to establish a culture of protection. They understand that sudden wealth attracts attention, and that the best way to avoid being targeted by scammers or opportunists is to maintain operational secrecy and discretion. That doesn't mean they're isolated, however. Many are part of private IQD mastermind groups, encrypted Telegram threads, or wealth prep forums. But they're careful about who they let in. The people they surround themselves with now will become critical in the days after the RV. These networks are sharing intel, vetted contact lists, and first-hand reports about bank confirmations, appointment windows, and structured contracts. The IQD millionaires are trading knowledge in real time, and they're taking notes. Another notable focus is education. They're not assuming that a financial windfall makes them financially wise. On the contrary, they are reading books on behavioral finance, taking webinars on legacy wealth, and learning from the mistakes of lottery winners and professional athletes. They know the statistics. Most people who come into sudden wealth lose it within 5 years. IQD millionaires are determined not to become part of that statistic. They're studying how to build generational wealth, not just short-term lifestyle upgrades. Their mindset is less about Lamborghinis and more about leverage, less about luxury and more about long-term liquidity. They're asking, how can I turn this into permanent freedom, not temporary fun? And they're answering with deliberate choices that set them apart from those merely hoping for an RV to solve their problems. Spiritual grounding is also playing a surprisingly large role. Whether through prayer, meditation, or personal values statements, many IQD millionaires are checking in with themselves about why they're doing this. They're aligning their wealth goals with their deeper sense of purpose. Some are planning humanitarian missions, micro-lending platforms, or educational scholarships. Others are choosing causes in their local communities that they plan to fund long after the media hype fades. In this way, the revaluation is becoming more than a financial event, it's a personal awakening. These individuals are preparing not just to receive, but to give, to lead, and to create. Their strategies are holistic. They're not only anticipating money, but impact. They are already thinking beyond the bank vault. Some are also making subtle lifestyle adjustments in preparation for their new reality. This includes minimizing debts, downsizing unnecessary expenses, or consolidating assets. They are preparing their credit profiles, updating wills, and revisiting insurance coverage. This isn't panic, it's prudence. It's the behavior of someone who understands that their life is about to change, and they want to be ahead of the curve when it does. Another common theme is mental rehearsal. Visualization exercises, scripting the exchange conversation, walking through their financial plan aloud. IQD millionaires are mentally preparing themselves for the moment their life shifts. They understand that sudden success without emotional readiness can be dangerous. They're imagining scenarios and grounding themselves emotionally before the surge hits. Some are even rehearsing what they'll say to family and friends who find out. Will they help? How much? Under what terms? They're preparing scripts, boundaries, and fallback answers. IQD millionaires know that emotional decisions under pressure can create lifelong regrets. Preparation gives them clarity. Ultimately, what IQD millionaires are doing right now is building bridges between belief and reality. They're taking the final steps before one of the biggest moments of their lives. They're not acting like it might happen, they're acting like it's already in motion. That belief is being translated into bank-level strategy, trust-based planning, and personal transformation. And while some will be caught off guard when the announcement finally hits, the IQD millionaires will be calm, collected, and ready to act. They've waited long enough. They've prepared in silence. And when the world finally catches up to what they've known for years, they won't be scrambling. They'll be walking confidently into the next chapter, with everything in place. They understand what few others do. Preparation before the RV isn't optional, it's everything. And that's exactly why they'll be the ones to not just survive the revaluation, but build empires because of it. Like and subscribe to our community for more videos.